Hello guys and welcome to English Tour. Did you know that many IELTS candidates actually lose the most marks in the writing test not because of weak English but because they don't fully understand what is expected? In this video we are going to fix that. The IELTS writing test may seem tough, but with the right approach, you can handle it with confidence. I will guide you through the structure, tasks, marking system, and essential skills you need to score high. Let's get started. The IELTS writing section is where the examiners finally say, okay, let's see how well you can actually put your thoughts on paper. It has two tasks and each one tests a different side of your writing skills. Basically, they want to see if you can share information clearly, build strong arguments, and write in English without making it sound like Google Translate helped you out. Now, there are two versions of this test, academic and general training. Both are 1 hour long and include two tasks. But here's the twist. Task 1 is different for academic and general training, while task 2 is exactly the same for everyone. Oh, and task 2 isn't just another task. It's the heavyweight champion of the writing section. It counts double compared to task 1. So if you mess up task 1 but shine in task 2, you will still have a fighting chance. Okay, great. Now let's talk about IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. In Task 1, you are not asked to write an essay about your favorite food or your dream holiday. Instead, you are given some visual information. It could be a graph, a chart, a table, or even a process diagram. Your mission? Describe what you see in your own words. This means you will need to organize and present the data logically, compare and contrast information where it makes sense, and explain processes, trends, or events clearly, all without slipping in your personal opinions. This task is really testing whether you can understand visual information and translate it into clear English writing. Keep it factual, keep it objective, and don't try to get creative with your opinions. The examiner only wants the information. Okay, great. Now let me show you a sample of the questions from task 1. These questions look like this. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. The graph below shows tourism statistics among German students from 2011 to 2014. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and main comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. So basically, you are turning numbers and visuals into words. Not too scary, right? Okay, fine. So far so good. Now let's talk about IELTS General Writing Task 1. In the General Training Writing Test, Task 1 is all about writing a letter. Imagine real-life situations you might face if you were living in an English-speaking country. Maybe you need to write to your landlord about a leaky shower, or send a formal letter to your boss, or simply drop a friendly note to a friend. The tone of your letter depends on the situation. It could be personal, semi-formal, or formal. And here's what you will be tested on. Writing clear and polite correspondence, sharing factual information, and expressing your thoughts, feelings, or needs, like your likes, dislikes, or even complaints, in polite way, of course. This task checks whether you can communicate effectively in everyday situations through writing. The trick is to keep your response focused, appropriate in tone, and professional enough, without adding unnecessary drama or extra personal opinions. Okay, good. Now let me show you an example in this task. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. Your friend is celebrating her birthday soon and has invited you to the party, but unfortunately you can't go because you will be attending an important meeting that day. Write a letter to your friend and thank her for the invitation, explain why you cannot come, and propose another day to meet. Write at least 150 words. You do not need to write your own address. Okay, fantastic. Now let's talk about IELTS Writing Task 2. Welcome to the boss level of the IELTS Writing Test. This one's the same whether you are taking the academic or general training model, and trust me, it's a challenge. Here you will need to write an essay in response to a statement, argument, or problem. In other words, you are asked, what's your opinion and can you back it up without sounding like you are just ranting on social media? In this task, you will be tested on your ability to present a solid solution to a problem, justify your opinions with clear reasoning and examples, compare and contrast different ideas or viewpoints, and even challenge assumptions when appropriate. But don't forget the structure. Your essay should always have an introduction that clearly tells the reader what you will argue, well-organized body paragraphs that explain your points, and a conclusion that ties everything up neatly like the last show on a gift. This task is really about showing off your critical thinking and your ability to build an argument logically, step by step, with evidence to support your claims. And now let me show you a sample. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Write about the following topic. Does the internet need to be controlled by government? Justify your answer. Write at least 250 words. So think of task 2 as your chance to prove you can think like a lawyer, write like a journalist, and argue like a pro. All in clear, organized English. Okay, good. Now let me tell you an important point about time management for the writing test. In first 5 minutes, you must read tasks carefully and plan your approach. After that, in 20 minutes, you must complete task 1 efficiently. And after that, in 55 minutes, you must focus on task 2 essay. And at the end, you must spend 5 minutes to review and correct errors. That's an important instruction you must follow to get better score in IELTS writing test. Okay, perfect. So how exactly does the IELTS examiner decide your writing score? Well, it all comes down to 4 magic ingredients. Number 1, task achievement. This is all about, did you actually answer the question? Number 2, coherence. This is examiner speak for, does your writing make sense and flow smoothly? Number 3, lexical resource. In simple terms, your vocabulary power. And number 4, grammatical range and accuracy. This is about how well you use grammar. Each of these criteria is scored from 0 to 9. Then the scores are averaged to give your final writing score. For example, if you get in task 1, 6 in task achievement, 7.5 in coherence, 7 in lexical resource, and 7.5 in grammar, your overall is 7. But here's the catch. Task 2 is worth twice as much as task 1. So if your essay is strong, it can really lift your score. For example, if you get 6.5 in task 1 and 8 in task 2, the final score calculates like this. And your final and overall writing score is 7.5. So remember, task 2 is the heavyweight here. Give it more time and effort. So that's the IELTS writing test. 2 tasks, 4 scoring criteria, and 1 big opportunity to show the examiner what you can do. Remember, task 2 carries double the weight, so treat it like the main course, not the side dish. If this video helped you, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. In the next video, we will dive into even more strategies that can take your IELTS score from almost there to I did it. And hey, let me know in the comments which part of the writing test do you find trickiest, task 1 or task 2. I would love to hear your thoughts. Until future videos, goodbye.